Hi everyone, Tom Filep, America's financial services industry lead, and here at Cisco Connect in Latin America. Fantastic couple of days we've had with customers and ecosystem partners. So some of the ways that the FinServ industry has changed since the pandemic. The business model has distinctly shifted. It's a hybrid work operating model, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. So if you think about, we're finding three scenarios. One is that you think about Judgment Day, which was September the 5th in Wall Street, where some of the major investment banking firms, JP Morgan Chase with CEO Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, and also with David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, requiring teams to come into the office 5 days a week, into lower downtown New York, having that collegial environment, meeting with high net worth customers face to face. So there's an opportunity to be in the office 5 days a week, even after the pandemic. A second model that we're seeing is what we're seeing as a 3-2 model, where it's 3 days a week in the office, and many of our customers are working remotely on Mondays and Fridays. So that gets back into the sustainability and the real estate savings, the real estate utilization opportunity. A third model that we're seeing is working remotely. We take it for granted with Cisco. We have the Cisco Virtual Office operating model, the CVO. And a lot of our customers are finding very great success in working remotely. The hybrid work model is working for them from an employee productivity, customer experience perspective, and also an opportunity to help to grow the business. And fundamentally, when we're talking about what are the priorities in the financial services space, it's business growth, risk reduction, and expense reduction, whether it's OpEx and CapEx. So those are some of the priorities that we're seeing and how the business has changed in financial services. Some of the top trends that we're seeing currently, when we talk about ESG from an environmental, social, and corporate governance perspective, customers are really engaging and partnering with financial institutions, whether it's a retail bank, a wealth management firm, or an insurance company, that have a strong, clearly defined ESG program, as part of their overall enterprise strategy. What's interesting is that clients are also looking to invest with companies that have a strong ESG position, as far as social responsibility and corporate governance. Something else that we're seeing is around cybersecurity. Top of mind, as I mentioned, when we see that the hybrid work operating model is being leveraged and utilized by many of our customers, not only in the Americas, in financial services, in Canada, in the US, and here in Latin America, but also globally, there's an opportunity to certainly utilize remote workforces, having people work remotely at any time as long as they have their mobility device in place. But it's also a challenge because we're seeing increased data breaches, cybersecurity, ransomware attacks. And the other component there is that a lot of these cybersecurity insurance policies are still taking shape and the exposures are being court tested. So until we see what is covered specifically and what is excluded under a cyber risk insurance policy, there are potential financial risks to the organization, to your bottom line. So it's really important to be able to understand that you have that digital ready foundation in place from a cybersecurity perspective. You have a cyber readiness opportunity in place where you're able to understand what's the current state of your organization and what are those opportunities and bottlenecks and improvement areas going forward. Another trend that we're seeing as far as digital first and having that agile IT foundation in place, being able to digitize the processes that we take for granted every day. So many of our customers and customers rely on their iPhone, rely on digital processes. You might not even speak to a representative, a wealth advisor, or a bank executive until you need to. So a lot of our customers are looking for SMS messaging, AI, advanced predictive analytics, advanced predictive modeling, chatbots. We're seeing more and more in practical use, specific use cases that are top of mind. And something else that we're seeing as far as sustainability, we talk about real estate optimization, certainly a priority and a challenge that our customers are facing. What do we do with the real estate if we're transitioning our teams to hybrid work? So there's an opportunity to have multi-purpose facilities in place for that real estate that you already have in place. So those are some of the top trends that we're seeing, but most importantly, it's a holistic digital transformation strategy. Taking a look at the enterprise. What are you trying to do as a business, and what can we do to leverage technology to help you successfully execute those business results and to strengthen your organization as a unit, as a whole. Some of the use cases that we're seeing in financial services that are addressing some of these specific challenges, we're seeing when we talk about e-discovery and compliance. One of the use cases that we see, you're now working remotely. You were previously working in the office, but is your consumer information secure? Is your proprietary information safe? Do you have the multi-factor authentication that's needed when you're working remotely? One of the challenges that we've seen in the industry is recent significant SEC fines, Securities and Exchange Commission fines, to many of the major investment banks and retail firms globally. And part of the challenge is that a lot of the producers, the wealth management advisors, the sellers within financial institutions are working remotely, but they don't necessarily have a secure entitlement or Wi-Fi connectivity or the right security infrastructure for their mobile devices. So there's a use case when we talk about one of our Cisco Investments portfolio companies, Theta Lake, has an e-discovery unified communication solution which we can stand up in a testing environment. It's been with 8 to 10 users in a particular bank branch, for example. Get those success metrics, compare it side by side with your current practices, and then be able to leverage that success across the organization. E-discovery compliance is very much top of mind when we talk about shifting from the hybrid work model. Another use case that we're seeing is there's an opportunity to have SMS messaging, have AI for bank branches, for example. So if you're a customer coming into my bank branch, there's an opportunity to send a chatbot or SMS message to that customer before they even walk in the door. Now think about it. If you're a Gold Star customer, the vice president of the bank already knows you're entering the branch before you even get there, because you have that message, and because of advanced analytics, you're able to identify that that top customer is coming in the door. So the branch manager walks out, greets that customer who might be coming in to make a bank deposit, and automatically you're having cross-sell and upsell opportunities that you never had before. It's more than just a bank branch deposit. You're now talking about mutual funds. You're talking about a home equity line of credit or a mortgage refinance opportunity. What we're also seeing with bank branches is one of our customers has something called an advanced financial center. So you're seeing opportunity where you walk into the bank branch and there's a video concierge that greets you when you walk in the office or into the branch. There are no employees at that bank branch. So the great thing here is having that video concierge at a remote location. You can bring in the right expert at the right time and expand that conversation with your customers. There's an opportunity to leverage that remote expert, that mobility capability that we're seeing more and more as a best practice in the financial services space. One other use case that we're seeing is around conversational engagement. So there's a great opportunity, back to mobility devices, to be able to push data to the customer. We have 4 distinct demographics in financial services. We have Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, and the baby boomers. And the demands of the customers are distinctly different. For example, the millennials are looking for data on their mobile device. If you're looking to decide, I need to apply for a personal loan. I want to be able to do the research myself online, and at the right time, bring in that expert click a button on my phone to join the meeting and speak to somebody live when I need to, learn more details about a specific offering or an opportunity. The baby boomers on the other side have been doing banking or insurance transactions on their kitchen table, with their advisor, working face to face, having paper documents, signing paper signatures for many years. So it's a distinctly different customer demographic. You need to decide who your customers are, understanding what the personas are, the customer journeys, and how you can accommodate their needs to ensure that you're able to grow their business, and most importantly, make banking and insurance and wealth management easier for your customers. So those are some of the top use cases that we're seeing currently in the financial services space. A number of recommended calls to action that we're seeing as best practices. What can you do next? What are some of the near-term opportunities where we can partner together? One thing that we're seeing very much an opportunity is to have that holistic digital business transformation conversation with your technology and business stakeholders. Bring IT and business together so you have an opportunity. We're seeing more and more executive briefings at our customer experience centers in Cisco, Building 10 San Jose, in Penn 1 New York City, in RTP in North Carolina, and other parts of the world, in Chicago as well. So it's a great opportunity for customers, depending upon what location is most convenient for you. Bring everybody together. We've had conversations with as many as 40 people and more, where we bring the C-levels together. We talk about strategic priorities and understanding your business from a customer-in perspective. What's most important to you? How can we help you to strengthen your organization? How can we partner with you as a trusted advisor and provide the technology, products, and capabilities to successfully execute your strategic priorities? So think about executive briefings. Whether it's live, we've also seen virtual events. We've executed since the pandemic. I'm in conversations all the time with senior decision makers in financial institutions, and we've had virtual briefings anywhere from 90 minutes to 4 hours, depending upon what the workshop opportunity is. And again, it's around near-term actionable, specific use cases that are going to help aggressively move your business forward and accelerate your digital transformation. Something else that we're seeing are one-to-many customer events. So we had a briefing as an example. We had 4 Argentinian banks in San Jose a number of weeks ago, and we were sharing innovation ideas. What are some of the lessons learned within the industry? What are some things that are working with one organization that can be leveraged with others? That's another thing that you might consider. We have many institutions in the US, for example, that are interested in a conversation with our Latin American counterparts. You're not necessarily a competitor, but there's an opportunity to have those conversations. And as we know, great things start with a conversation. It's amazing what we're able to accomplish together and to help strengthen the industry. 2 other calls to action where I see as opportunities. Think about a digital readiness assessment. We have what's called a Digital Solutions Integrator program, the DSI program. So if you're a bank or an insurance company or a wealth management firm, we would welcome the opportunity to spin up a half-day workshop. Bring your IT and business stakeholders together. Let's take a closer look at your current state customer personas. Who's buying from you? Who are most important to you from a demographic perspective? And also, what are your customer journey roadmaps look like? Do you have a robust customer journey maps in place, or is it something that we can look at? How has your operating model and journey roadmaps changed pre and post pandemic? What are those interdependencies? What are those opportunities where we can help you as far as bottlenecks and duplications of effort? And something else to consider would be a security readiness assessment. We talked earlier about the cybersecurity risks are significant when we talk about hybrid work and hybrid cloud. There's an opportunity to take a look at your current state, a half-day workshop. What does that look like? What are the opportunities to succeed? So the great thing about a digital readiness assessment a digital business transformation framework workshop and also a cybersecurity assessment is that you're able to determine a roadmap for you, for your entire enterprise, that all of your teams can leverage going forward over the next 12 to 24 to 18 months. What can we do to identify if there are 10 projects over the next 18 months? We're able to help prioritize and sequence them. And most importantly, where are ways that Cisco can help you move your business forward and succeed together? So those are some of the calls to action. We welcome the opportunity to expand the conversation. We've had some amazing conversations over the last couple of days here in Latin America with our top customers in financial services, and we're expanding conversations already, with virtual briefings, with executive briefings, with engagement follow-up opportunities. So it starts with a conversation. We welcome the opportunity to have a more in-depth talk about some of the priorities that I mentioned today. And we wish you continued success. Hope you enjoyed Cisco Connect LATAM if you're here. If you're not, we look forward to conversations with you now and in the future. Thank you so much.